All right, so this Etsy YouTuber claims that all other Etsy gurus are lying. So I'm actually really interested, and we are going to watch this video together and see what she has to say.
Okay, so I'm just going to say it. Most Etsy gurus are lying to you, and it is keeping your shop small. They will tell you that if you just keep posting listings, if you obsess over SEO, the sales will just come. But I am here to...
Okay, so far I'm pretty curious on this one, but let's keep going.
Now, lie number one is that SEO is everything. Every Etsy YouTube tutorial starts with something like this. Make sure your SEO is perfect.
All right, so I'm going to stop the video right there. Bailey in this part of the video is absolutely correct. And no, guys, I'm not being sarcastic. She is 100% right. And I feel like I've even gotten backlash on this for saying the same exact thing as her. Basically, what people think when in terms of SEO, they think about the keywords that go into their listing. And yes, keywords definitely matter. What tends to happen on, social platforms like YouTube and Instagram is that everyone wants to obsess over keywords. But in reality, keywords are probably not the solution to your low traffic problem. And so the conversation always tends to be around keywords. And why is that? Well, if it was as simple as just changing some words in your Etsy listings and then all of a sudden you were making a bunch of sales, if it was that simple, then it would be exactly how it sounds. And that sounds very easy, right? And so people spend hours and hours obsessing over keywords and going down these rabbit holes thinking that they have a keyword problem, when in reality, 90% of the time, that's usually not their issue. But why is the topic around keywords? So if you've ever been to the gym before, it's very similar when you go to the gym and you're doing squats or crunches, right? Your body is naturally going to find the easiest way to compensate for the movement to make it easier on you. And that's why when you have a personal trainer come in and they adjust you, all of a sudden that same movement becomes a lot harder, right? And so we're naturally going to find in business, we do the same thing. We naturally want to find the easiest thing to fix our problem before actually addressing the problem. And lo and behold, what does the internet like? What is the YouTube algorithm like? The TikTok algorithm? What is the Instagram algorithm like? They like easy, get rich quick, simple hacks, side hustles, right? All of those trigger words is what contributes to videos going really viral. But unfortunately, that isn't normally, again, the solution to your problem. So to say that people are lying, no, they're not really lying in the sense, right? Keywords definitely matter. It's just a hot conversation where the conversation really, if we're talking over here, we really should be having this other conversation over here. And the harder thing, and the thing that actually is going to solve your low sales problem, is what comes after the discovery. So what comes after you putting a keyword in your listing. And again, keywords matter. It's just the effort that should go into keywords is about a 10% effort of the total 100% effort that should go into what makes the listing actually sell. And so that 90% effort is what comes after the discovery. It is how you actually build a listing that's worth clicking on. And that usually comes down to two things. Number one is your product selection. And number two is something called your displayed value proposition. So it's the perception of the value of the item in comparison to all of your competition that is showing up in that search query. When we talk about number one with product selection, it is one, validating that there's actually demand for what you have to sell. And the absolute fastest and easiest way to validate demand is by actually looking at the demand of a product opportunity. So what does that actually mean? So Profitree is launching this feature at the end of this month called the Product Finder. So at the end of June, this will be available. And essentially what this does is when you type in a keyword or in a batch of keywords into the search bar here, what it's going to do is give you back a bunch of valuable metrics, but some metrics that no other tools actually give you. So they have this column here called the in demand column, right? And this is actually showing true demand. So we go one-to-one showing monthly revenue, total revenue, just like all the other tools, but a listing that is, could be almost 2 years old behold, right, just because it had a lot of revenue doesn't show that it actually has true demand right now. So the surest fire sign that something is selling hot and it's selling hot right now is if you see something like this, which is 58 sold in the last 24 hours, 20 in, 20 add to carts, right? This is true indicator of demand, right? Not only that, but Profitree also gives you more in-depth insights like the actual strategy that the listing is using to see those results. So for example, it shows if the listing is actually running ads or not. So if you want to go after this product opportunity after you do your research, right, you would want to see, okay, well, all the top listings are running ads. That means that I need to figure out how to run my ads profitably, which lo and behold, Profitree is also the only tool that helps you advertise your listings profitably. So it has the only Etsy ads optimizer tool on the market and automated profit tracking tool so you can scale profitably. So other cool insights in terms of strategy, like where it reveals the strategy of your competition, is things like the listing's average order value. So if your listing's top priced item in the drop-down menu is only $15, right, then you would want to consider adding a tier of upsells to that listing, right, so that you can increase your average order value, your AOV, right? Because if your listing historically making more money than your competition, right, then you would want to add more variation options so you could increase your average order value so that listing gets pushed more in the search results, right? It also shows you strategy like whether they're doing free shipping or not free shipping, or if they're personalized, right? And it just gives a boatload of insights. But most importantly is that you're validating demand of your choices, right? You need to have a conviction on why you should spend hours creating a product and launching it on Etsy. And this is, again, the fastest and the easiest way to do it. And you can virtually cancel any other subscription that you're paying for because this is all being offered at one flat rate price in a very, very limited time offer. There's a link in the description so you can get this. Plus, it comes with a bunch of bonuses for one payment. So you don't have to pay for any subscription with any other software anymore. And this is obviously, like I said, it's coming out at the end of June. The Etsy Radar is going to be alive probably closer to the end of August. But check that out, guys, and let's get back into the video. And when we talk about you're building your value proposition, that can manifest into the actual design you have, your mock-up choices, your photography, the quality of your photography, your price, your drop-down menu, the actual product you're selling, and the perceived quality of the actual item, right? It comes down to a lot of different touch points. And I have another video that is explaining these things that you can cue next to watch after this video. But let's keep watching Bailey's video.
Not something like keyword stuffing like it's 2015. Another big lie is just to keep posting. If you just keep posting and posting, the sales will come. And this is simply so wrong. You can list 500 products, but if they are not what customers are actually searching for in a design style that is actually on trend or on point, that is just...
So with this one, I also agree. Just posting and posting the same poor quality listings, expecting a different result is, again, not going to be the solution to your low traffic problem. However, the caveat with this one thing that I will say is that sometimes in the beginning, when you're just new at design or new at e-commerce, new at imagery, new at product selection, right? Sometimes you just have to do something 500 times over just to get that skill set up to par with your competition. But again, I think they say that it requires 10,000 hours or something to really master a skill, right? If you look at my product photography, my logo design, all of my graphic design from 2018 to what it is now, I'm still not the best, but there's a wildly different change. And so, like I said, yeah, it's not always about quantity, but it is about, doing the thing over and over again, especially if you're in print on demand or selling digital downloads like she is, right? Design is everything. It's really the only thing, right? So you really have to just do it over and over again to get better.
Number one is that I simply post a design that is actually in demand. Step number two is then to get the listing to sell as quickly as possible. So I can quickly send an email out once a week.
Okay, so at this part of the video, Bailey goes on to talk about how she's cultivated her own traffic source. So she personally has built I think she said a Facebook group. She also obviously has her YouTube channel, and she also has a very, very good design skills. This is her legitimate way to grow more sales, like to get more sales, is by owning your own traffic source, having an email list. And this is definitely a valid truth. And I am not in the digital download space. I'm not the authority of the space. She definitely has more authority in the space. Personally, I would turn to Etsy ads before I would turn to building my own traffic source, because personally, if I am so good at doing YouTube or content or social media, I would be driving that traffic to my own website, like a Shopify store, versus an Etsy store, because you go to Etsy to solve a traffic problem for you. And that is why your true lowest hanging fruit after you learned how to get organic sales is Etsy ads, which is also something that she mentions in her video. So her way of solving that traffic problem or getting more sales is totally legitimate. It's totally valid. It's just a slightly different approach that I would do, because I truly believe that if you're on the platform, you want to play the game the way that the platform wants you to play it. And so you might as well give that dollar and play the game of Etsy if you want to be on Etsy. If you want to sell on your own website, that's a completely different thing. But if you're going to spend thousands and thousands of hours, building a Facebook group or a YouTube channel or an Instagram account, you might as well drive that traffic to your own website and probably not Etsy, or do both. But if I'm cultivating the traffic, I am not giving that to Etsy to then pay an Etsy selling fee personally. But again, a valid approach, many ways to skin a cat. And remember guys, because Profitree is the all-in-one ultimate Etsy success tool, there is an advertisement optimization tool built into the system where it shows you exactly how to scale your ads. And you're going to want to do that, especially if you see that your competition is doing that as well. And remember, what's really cool is that you can cancel all of your other subscriptions, because we have an early access offer for $67 that gets you access to all of those coming soon features, but also 30 days of our ad optimization analytics and profit tracking order analytics. And obviously, if you have print on demand, we integrate with Printify and Printful, so you can automatically start seeing your profits in the next 5 minutes of signing up. What's also really cool is it comes with the education that you need to learn Etsy ads. So Etsy ads has a little bit of a learning curve. So it actually comes with a complete Etsy ads master course that shows you how to, at minimum, 2x your sales, even if you sell low ticket digital downloads, right? One of the common myths with digital downloads is that your ads aren't profitable because your sale prices are low. And that's just not true. That is a true lie. And your lowest hanging fruit is running ads. Why is that? Is because you're running your ads and showing your ads to the hottest traffic on the internet, which are people that are already actively searching for your item to buy it. People don't go to Instagram and TikTok with their wallet open with the intention of making a purchasing decision. People go to Etsy.com, they go to that URL with their wallet knowing that they're going to spend money. So when you show your listing to the hottest traffic on the internet, that makes your cost to acquire a customer the absolute cheapest cost if you tried otherwise, except for organic sales or making viral content on behalf of your products. But if you don't want to be a content creator, if you don't want to show your face online, if you don't want to have a Facebook group, right, this is a really good option for you. So this link is going to be in the description, where you basically get everything that you need to grow and scale your Etsy shop. And again, check out Bailey's channel. She's definitely the authority when it comes to digital downloads, and she has a lot of valuable content on her channel as well. I'll link that below. All right, guys, see you in the next video.